again at the MV Talks. I am Uncle Mo, happy to be hosting this show. This is a place we talk about media, we talk about innovation, we talk about media viability. I mean, how is media doing its thing and how do we stay relevant in the space that is media, delivering things to make sure that the society is the society we want to stay in. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad and very honored to share a stage right now with a gentleman that's big on publishing, big on writing, entrepreneur in the same space, a man that has a passion to write for children. Ladies and gentlemen, Oscar Ranzo. Good to see you, man.
Thank you for hosting me, Uncle Mo.
I'm very glad to have you on the show, but importantly, you're a guy that is very, very passionate about travel and all. Yeah? It's among your hobbies. And you're also a dancer.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been dancing?
I actually danced through my youth, and then I stopped dancing around the time I hit 21.
Which genre?
Jabba.
Jabba people, your guy is here. But the most important part about this gentleman is the passion you have around writing and writing for kids, man. How did you choose to start Oasis book project?
Oasis book project is an idea that I got when I was around 21 years old, because around that time, when I finished high school and going to university, I tried to find local stories to read, and then I couldn't find them. I mean, those ones that were really good and had a high literary standards, high artistic standards, I couldn't find them. And I realized that maybe publishers here were not making those books, and I got an idea to start making these books available, affordable, and read widely in the country and beyond.
So, to cut it short, because you didn't find, you created, is that the reason why it's called Oasis?
Yes, because Uganda was called a literary desert. I actually did research and found out that a certain writer called Tabano Leong, yes, it's called Tabano Leong, he's a Ugandan, he declared Uganda a literary desert. And I was like, okay, I think somebody can create an oasis in this desert, because every desert has got places where you find water, and I was going to create a literary desert in Uganda.
How many people have this information that someone declared as a literal desert?
People in the writing field actually have it, but most people in the other areas of work may probably don't know it. But Uganda is actually declared a literary desert because Ugandans neither write nor it is perceived that they don't want to read.
Oasis book project. So it exists as an organization or as a company?
It's a social enterprise. A social enterprise is something, it's a business that also must have a good cause that helps communities. So it generates profit, which then, but the profit is used for a good cause. In this case, we publish books, sell them to those who can afford, and then donate. We use the proceedings to donate books in villages where children can't afford to purchase books. So that's what makes it a social enterprise.
I mean, so you, and how long has this been happening?
Oasis was launched in 2012, and but then registered as a business in 2015. But yeah, so next year we shall be celebrating 10 years of Oasis.
10 years, because I've been going over your bio, and you guys have supplied to over nearly 150 schools that you've reached out to send your work. Man, that's a big thing, guys. You need to give a round of applause to this guy. Over 150 schools, which brings me to the business model. How is this working for you? I mean, is it making money?
Yeah. So initially, Oasis, I began it as a passion, like as a hobby. Like I can write. Then, but as I started going to schools, I realized that there was a very huge demand for local stories that are culture relevant, relatable to children, and no one was making them available. So schools were demanding for them. And I realized, you know what? I think this has business potential. So I registered the Oasis as a business.
And you currently legally exist.
Yeah, we legally exist.
You're paying tax.
We have a TIN number.
It's very, very important. If you want to get your hustle done, you have to legally exist. It is the cost of doing business.
Yes, and actually, sales just blow out of proportion after you register, because there are opportunities that will come to you. The first question they ask you is, "Are you registered? Do you have a TIN number?" I say yes. Then you can get deals like give me 1,000 books or 2,000 books, things like that. So yeah, we began slowly, and then we started to see that gold sales were growing and growing. And after we registered and became a business, we just started to get very big opportunities. Before COVID hit, we reached the tipping point, a point where we're selling like 10,000 books per month, and that's a lot of That's a lot of bottom line.
That's big.
Yes.
You see, you guys are in a business where your customers are not the ones that directly buy the books.
Exactly.
So I want to understand, how do you do your marketing? How do you finally be successful with making a sale? And if someone is out there, they're trying to do, maybe they're publishing maybe something in cooking, maybe publishing something into mechanics, into other things. How did you grind out to find that you have someone to buy your book at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think the most the thing that I'm proud of myself mostly is coming up with a business model that was able to enable us sell books in big numbers, but also to create jobs for young people. So because initially when I first started out, I realized I put some books in the bookshops, and then after around 1 month, I checked the biggest bookshop. I saw like 5 copies. After 1 month, I realized that okay, because I first of all quit my job. I had a job that was paying me around $750 a month, the last job. So I quit it to focus entirely on Oasis. So I like, okay, if I'm selling 5 books a month, this does the cut. So I had to come up with a business model that would enable me sell, because I had a target, at least $750 a month. That's what the amount I needed to make.
Because of what you're used to.
That's why I used to earn. So then I saw that the best way to do that was to do direct marketing. We call it, at Oasis, we call it guerrilla marketing, where we employ young men and women, and then we train them, give them the skill of approaching people and actually telling them about what we do. And we realized that has worked wonders for us, because once you show people this, and also one of the easiest things to sell is a children's book, because most parents want the best for their children. So once you show them a good book and show them what the importance that it will have on their child,
yes, unless
they really don't have money, chances are they'll pay you. So that's how we were able so we created a distribution model that is youth-led, and also it is direct, door-to-door, person-to-person, school to school.
Then, how many people do you have on board? How big is your team?
We have a core team of around 10 people, but then they are trained to train others. So when they go to, for example, when they work to schools, they are trained to train teachers to promote our product. So that's how we do. So this core team is given the training then to train teachers, because the teachers have direct interface with parents. Yes, that's how we do.
So you're saying that teachers are your extended salespeople?
Yes.
How many publications have you put out so far?
30.
You're kidding?
Yes. Right now we have 30 books, because we do publish like 3 books every year for 10 years now. So
in this whole thing, what's your forte? What's your strength on the team?
My strength, okay, first of all, I'm the creative. I'm the person who is very good at coming up with content that we sure will work on the market. And then also I have editing skills, and also I'm blessed to have a lot of skills that are very relevant to the business. One, I have very good marketing skills, editing skills, and then because I also did art at HSC, so I have an eye for good content. Like when it comes to like illustrations, because children's books are really sold by the illustrations. So I have an eye of how to lay out work and make it appealing to the what. So I'm basically the person that ties everything together.
You are the orchestra. So in this business of publication, what takes the money? I mean, what are the things that people be investing in?
So I think you have to invest first of all in a good printer, a good printing company this time, and one that will give you quality work and also on time.
You have to invest in a good printing company.
Yes, you have to work with a good printing company, because that's what separates you. That when you look at local books on the market, you find that some of them are not well done.
Someone gives you a book and you pray, doesn't rain as you go.
The ink is running. Yes. So you have to find a very good printing company. Also, you have to find good illustrators. Good illustrators, because illustrators are what, especially for kids, for children's books, they're what will make your work sell or not. And then also you have to invest time in a good editor, because
So the core team of the 10, is there an editor as well on the team?
The editors
are external.
The editors are external.
That's smart.
You can try it.
It's not very good to be asking your wife if you look nice.
Yes. they'll probably just flatter you and say
like,
they don't want to annoy you.
I know, yeah.
Yes.
So an external editor is a smart idea. Good external editor, good printing place.
Yes.
What else takes
Illustrators, and then the illustrators.
Illustrators.
Yes. And then also you have to invest in good marketing and distribution. Like you have to train a team that will because having the most difficult part of our job is once the printers have done and they give you 5,000 copies.
That's true.
You have to push them.
And these guys you have are the marketers, the guys doing the sales people, sales executives. Are they part of the core team?
Yes, actually basically that's a core team. So we call them literacy consultants.
Come again.
We call them literacy consultants.
If you have people that are selling your books, please, they call them literacy consultants.
Yes, you have to give them a fancy name. But also because they don't just do market books. They promote the importance of reading to parents and make people understand.
And I like that, man. Because if you handle things like that, you see, you're not just giving someone a book.
Yes.
You're giving someone an experience.
Yes.
You walked into someone's space, you made them interested, you gave them a book, they like it, probably even get feedback from them. The whole experience, which is better than just get a book, and
then walk away. Yes. So for us, we don't just sell a product. We sell an idea.
That's awesome.
And that's why they're called consultants, because you can even call them afterwards. And one thing, if you come to our office, you find that many of them right now, especially in this time of COVID, are getting offers for jobs. Like, can I give you my child? They have this problem. So that's what.
You have all these guys paid per month?
Yes, they pay. We do pay. We have what we call a hybrid form of payment. Yes. We have what we call a retainer, which is somebody, like a base pay that somebody gets like at the end of the month. But also, on top of that, people get commission and bonuses depending on performance. Yes.
Wow. So it's safe for us to say that the company is breaking even?
It was more than breaking even. By breaking even, it was turning a profit. At some point, because profit is king. In business, it's what makes a business survive. We wouldn't be here 10 years if we're not making a profit. So yeah, pre-COVID we reached a tipping point where we're turning a good profit. But of course, COVID turned everything.
In your whole story, getting Oasis book project together, is there a moment you said, you wanted to say, I'm done, I can't do this anymore?
No, it's because I was doing something that I like. Those challenges usually they just.
But were the challenges there?
They are there definitely. One of them is people's attitude towards local stories. Like people, you go to a school and they say, local story. Did you copy this from Google? They just have an attitude that local is bad. So we are competing with books with. For us, we do Ladybird. Yes. We do Jolly Phonics. Yeah? So yes. That attitude, so you have that negative feedback, but that in the beginning, yeah? But over time, people began. We just kept going back until people realized that okay, local stories actually are more powerful than what we've been promoting.
So people prefer to tell their children about Rapunzel and the dwarfs and Cinderella. So getting into the moment of getting people understand that we have to get to a point where we tell our own stories. That was a big challenge.
It was a big challenge initially, but now over time, people have started coming over. People's thoughts have evolved to a point where they say, you know what, I think this is much better than the story from abroad.
The things we imported in. Okay, sometimes we even import our own stories. Like I said, you get it from Google. Sometimes people go to Google to and about Nambi and Chintu. But okay, apart from the fact that people had an issue with our local stories, what else has been a challenge? A moment that another publisher, you're sure a thing that they will hit and they're like, you know what, I think let me open up a mobile money shop.
Well, there for our business particularly, because mostly we're selling to young people, and the people who pay the money are not the young people, and they are their parents. We found a marketing technique that made it easy. We don't have a lot of challenges because there are so many children in Uganda.
That's very true.
And all their parents want the best for them, so we found it easy. But there are challenges in accessing. I'll be very honest with you, because when schools are closed, some of my team, they have to go to door to door, like offices, and sometimes the attitude that you get. Someone can tell like, why am I doing this? And so there are those moments,
hitting walls.
Like people have this attitude towards people who bring stuff door to door. They just have this, like it's like and see like life has hit you. Why would you do such a thing? But one thing that we do with our team, the first thing they join is prepare them for that.
For things like
that people
you're going to some guys do.
Yeah.
So in the tutorial for your sales team, they know how to deal with
face rejection. That's one of the things. Facing rejection. Like you're going to get all kinds of comments, but just develop a thick skin. Just at the end of the day, I'm making money. And also I'm doing a good thing.
And the other thing to learn from such situation, you see, whenever something doesn't work, the good thing about something not working and you're experiencing that something not working is you discover a way that won't work.
Exactly.
So you realize that there's something I said that pissed this guy off and probably stop using. So I think that's a good thing. You train them to keep working against the tide, and that's smart. Man. So you start out in 2012. What was your capital?
2012, I think around 2-3 million, not even, which I didn't have. I had my savings around 1.5. Then my boss at the time was a wonderful lady called Alison Naftalin.
Yeah.
She gave me a loan, an advance of around 500, and then my younger brother also gave me a loan around 1 million.
Yeah.
So that's to make 3 million to print the first 2,000 copies of Bible.
So you get your 3 million. What did you spend that money on?
Printing, basically. Printing the first 2,000 copies.
You had already figured out the writing.
I've already done the story.
Of the 30 publications, how many have you authored yourself?
25.
You're kidding.
Yes. So I already written my first story, and I wanted to go to print. I had paid the illustrator. So I was now looking for money for printing. So I had you have other publications in the pipeline coming? Yeah. Yes. We do have, like every year there's three every year. We have.
And across the cycle of doing your business, because I'm telling you, 2012 was a different year, 2015 things were different, 2020, that was a different year. Across the cycle, what moments have been happening that have taught you to keep reinventing yourself and doing your business differently?
Yes, several. So I started out writing for children 13 years and above, 10 and above. But once we started going to schools, they started telling us, you need to make, if you're going to promote reading, you need to start with the younger ones. You cannot start reading, promote reading at that level. So now I was forced
sorry to cut you short. Everything is very good at the beginning.
Yeah.
Things at the beginning, everyone at the beginning have so much energy, relationships, So even children, it's very rare that a parent won't be enthusiastic about a child's education when they're still young. It's later when they're like, man, I did all I could. Yeah. So I think you hit the right target.
Yeah, so we did that. So they told us, so we had to rethink and make books for the younger children, primary one. And then when we made those, they say, but can you still make the ones for the babies who are for preschool? Yeah. So we had to go back and make those ones. So we have been learning from the audience and reinventing and also reinventing our products, coming up with products that are in tune with what the audience is asking for. So over a period, like within. You see that by the time we hit 8 years, 2020, we now created like a catalog of books that was so good. Like wherever we just took it, people were just like, this really works for us.
When you look at your work, what's your special? What's your standout? What's the standout thing about all your publications? What's special about your work? What would you say?
The quality. The quality is just so good. That's of the writing and also of the illustration and also of the storytelling. So
if someone is to come around the work done by Oasis book project, the things they should look out for, because I always give people advice to benchmark on the people who are already doing this well. And you have been pointed out to be someone that is doing remarkable sales in publication. In Uganda, it's not very easy. So the special things, the things that you say, this has to be in our book has to look a certain way, or certain things should be in our book, that's special. what do you persistently say this will be what we do? What is that special thing?
Okay, the special thing is what I would say, is it grammar? The grammar,
Yes.
Books have to be error-free. Like it has to be really, really well edited and well done. The storytelling must be on the mark. Storytelling must be well-told stories, and also the quality of the illustration. I have to persist on that because it has to be really good. Eh? And so when you get all those three ingredients right, because usually for our school, now in school that we go to, if you take any other book, even if it's from abroad, they will say, no, we'll do Oasis. So they just say, because they are sure that they're getting a good quality product. So I think one thing that Ugandans take so lightly is the quality, especially of children's work. Yeah. They really think that children don't have brains. Children don't. I won't over-edit. But no, it has to be really well done because children also are very critical. You never know that, but they realize they can tell the difference between the good and the bad. So my team will tell you whenever they go out, like for children who know, I usually tell people that I could stand for mayor and they just become mayor. People don't know how this guy became mayor because there's a certain class of children. I know these schools that have grown up reading Ranzo books or Oasis books, and once they see it, they just pick it up. You don't even do the marketing; they just look at it and once they see the brand.
The brand is leading.
Yes, they just take it. Or just say the brand, I'll take this.
You've actually gotten in which space do you get reviews for your book? Because this is you putting your work together, then you put it out there. What avenues are you getting your reviews so that you know what you're doing is good or what you need to put better, what you need to work harder on, what you need to keep improving? How do you get to know
They get our reviews mostly from schools. Yeah, we don't have it in media or what. Usually get it from schools, direct feedback. They say this worked or this didn't work. Usually one of people who are the most honest people to give you feedback are children, because when they don't like it, they'll tell you, I don't like your work.
They have no lies.
Yeah, they are very honest. They'll tell you in your face that we didn't like this. I don't like this because of this. Or I really like this because of that. So we've got our feedback directly from school and also from our many audience who are kids.
Yeah. You make these sales. That's the only avenue of money that the Oasis book project gets money.
Yes.
Book sales. Only.
Yes, book sales. So there have to be a lot of sales.
So you've never had another. I mean, I don't know. Being that you're into this, you've never had to go maybe do talks, tell people how to do this, branch out in other things, diversifying from your business.
Okay, we do. So sales is our core revenue streams. Yes. But now we also ventured into trainings. Like we now give workshops on reading. In school, we give workshops, and we also help people like editing services. People who want to have their books published. They come to us and we give them guidance, and then they pay for that. And also now many people are asking personally us to give courses on writing for young children. So that's another venture that we intend to venture into moving forward. But our core revenue, and that's something that I made deliberately, that we were going to make money from sales, because I realized that once you make something your core, and then you're going to focus on that. So because sales is king, and with sales you don't have no limitations. Some people are like, why don't you seek funding or donation? I say no, that it can be limited. They may limit me. But with sales, I see this market, and people in Uganda haven't yet discovered the secret in intellectual property. So like there's a lot of potential in this market. So let's focus on sales, growing ourselves, and that's been our.
This is awesome. 30 publications supplied nearly 150 schools. I'm seeing the districts you've covered here: Kampala, Wakiso, Mukono, Jinja, Teso, Toro, Tenjojo. Schools closed.
Yeah.
What happened to Oasis book project?
So Oasis. So that's one thing that before COVID, I really thought that we had one of the best business models, and then COVID made us realize that it was not pandemic proof. I don't tell people
it needed a shot.
Yeah, so
it needed like 7 shots.
Yeah, I told my team, like, you know what? COVID has made us realize that our business model is not pandemic proof. Because now we have gone to selling 10,000 copies a month, because in January 2020, we sold like 5,000 copies. In February, we sold 10,000 copies a month. And in March, we're on course of selling again 10,000. Then they locked down the schools like on 20th. And then we went to zero. Like it was shut down for some time. So we had to rethink. And at that time, initially when we didn't panic, we were like, so this only is going to last 3 months. We can wait this out. But after the third month, they open up the economy, but schools remain closed. Now it's around 18 months. They were like, oh. So now we had to pivot at some point. We had to pivot and move away from making products that are basically school-based to now turning products that are home-based, because now home learning is what's in vogue. And then we realized that, so I told myself at some point, you know what? In the midst of every difficult lies an opportunity. So because sometimes
we keep telling ourselves that, but sometimes it refuses.
Yes. So sometimes you just have to change your mentality. Like you have to also to change your reality. So like, you know what? I'm not going to lament. This is giving me an opportunity to come up with something else. Because the good thing about being a creative is that like sometimes you are more creative. Your mind is backed by adversity. Yeah? So for some people, their mind is locked by adversity. But for us, you push yourself to think. So so what we did is we pivoted. We started making products that are basically that parents could use to help their kids learn from home. And what we did, we just made charts, like calendar. We made a product that no one had been making in Uganda. Yeah? Yes. It's a new product. It's relevant. It's colorful, and that's what has been taking us. It has helped us survive through COVID.
Yes, we are dark cloud.
To be able to generate some sales. People with it, and then people, I actually need this. When people asking us for workbooks and what, so we pivoted starting to home learning. But it took us some time before we got that idea. But and also our sales, but now the sales we generate are just to survive. But we're generating sales.
And to keep the light on, keep the doors open, so until things stabilize, you can come back to normal. They don't find you closed. That's a smart thing.
And I tell my team that actually everyone now is aware, because the new products that we made during COVID are so popular that we tell them that when things reopen, I think we're just going to be swimming in the cash. So yes.
It's a very good statement.
Yes.
Now, before I let you go, man, it's been a very beautiful conversation. Do you have any words you can tell? Because as a publisher, you've been, you've done well as a publisher. What words can you tell to people doing traditional journalism? That's the thing that they should borrow from the two worlds, because it's all writing. But now the other people have a bigger catchment. Your catchment is kids. But what skills are you employing writing for kids? Traditional journalism should employ writing for everyone else.
Right. I think audience. I think with journalism, first of all, choosing your audience, choosing your audience, and making sure you give it your best is one of the most important things. Sometimes you might find journalists who don't yet have an idea what they write for. Are you going to try to write for sports? Are you writing for travelers? So it's very important in everything you do. Are you writing for politics, or are you writing everything here and there like that? So if you find two journalists, one who has chosen a specific audience and say, I'm going to write for this, and one who is writing, say, I'm freelancing everything, 5 years down the road, you find that this one has...
One will drop the
one keep going high. So I think
it's very important
to choose an audience. Even me, I could write for adults and also for children, but I said I'm going to focus on this audience first, give it the best that I can. And that has been very...
If there's a takeaway from this conversation, as people should look for their special, their niche. Find your audience, stick to it, because the best way you can grow. Yes. Now, before I even let you go, we have an in-house band. And before I let you go, you said you were a dancer. We're going to have a battle here. I want the cameras to be rolling. Give me some music. We're going to end this one on a bang, because the gentleman told me he's a kafuru in Jaba. Are we going to slide on this carpet? Give me some music, and we're going to hear from... Thank you very much, Oscar.
Thank you.
It's been awesome. Please come back again when we host you. It will be awesome having you over. Now, this is a moment. First, teach me some Jabal.
Jabal.
This. Hey! Asante, man. Thank you very much. We'll see you, man.